Hi, I'm Joe White from Behind the Curtain, Ashland Community Theater. Unfortunately, Kelly Fay is out sick this month. Get well, Kelly. Today, we're going to be filming the scene Party Time with my fellow actor Tim Loff. And after the show, we're actually going to talk about the scene and our experiences both on stage and here in the studio. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Hey.
Roseanne, the kids asleep?
Yeah, they're in bed. Thanks for letting us stay over.
No problem. You know, you should have been with us tonight. Mom was worried.
I needed a breather. The whole wake thing was just too much. How is Mom doing?
I don't really know. Could be better, obviously. You know, I had to go out with her and Aunt Alice and Uncle Dave for dinner after. You should have been with us.
I had nothing to say. I mean, the thought of going out to dinner, having conversations, talking to people as if everything's okay, nothing's wrong. I couldn't do it.
Like I could. But I did it anyway.
Come on, Tom, please, not tonight. Can't you see that I'm upset?
What, do you think you're the only one who's upset, Chris? We're all upset.
You don't seem to be that upset. You seem perfectly fine.
I'm not fine. Where'd you go anyway?
Away from everybody. I went to Stone's. Had a beer. Celtic game was on. I swear if I close my eyes, I can hear Dad screaming at the top of his lungs at the TV.
Like Tommy Heinsohn. That was a horrible call. Refs are blind. We was robbed.
Do you remember how loud Dad was when he was coaching on the sidelines?
Ugh, geez. How could I forget? He was out of control at times.
You know, Mom would be so embarrassed that she never wanted to come to any one of our games.
Yeah, but you know what? Dad coached every one of your teams from 4th grade to high school. Didn't miss a single one.
He coached every one of yours too, buddy. Don't forget that.
But you know what? He took more pride in your teams, your games, than he ever did in mine.
Come on, the 7th grade soccer team that he coached. He said it was his best effort ever. You even scored 4 goals that year. He said all those things, you just didn't listen.
No, I listened. I just never heard him brag as much about me as he did about you. He always had special time for you. Remember that time in 8th grade when you lost the championship? He spent the whole night consoling you, telling you what a good job you did. It's not about winning and losing, it's about the game, doing well.
I remember that. We went to McDonald's. We eating Big Macs and fries till 10 o'clock at night. You know, I went on and on about every single stupid play of that game. You know, at the end of the night, while the loss still bothered me, it didn't seem to hurt as much.
He had a way of making things seem better.
Yeah, he did. So how are you, Paul, and the kids doing?
We're fine. They grew up so fast.
Ugh.
Joey's 14, freshman in high school. Jess is 12. With me working overtime at the shop and Paula working extra shifts at the hospital, time just seems to fly by.
I know life gets in the way, doesn't it? I mean, the kids like playing sports all the time. But with me going back and forth to London 2 or 3 times a month, I never get to see them. I hate leaving them.
Leave. Isn't that what you do, Chris? You left Mom and me tonight? Sounds like you leave your kids too?
What is that supposed to mean?
It means you should have been with us tonight. Tonight of all nights. Seems like you're never around when the going gets tough.
What do you mean never around? I'm always around. I'm always here for you guys.
Weren't the last 2 years with you in New York and me being the only one taking care of them?
You do realize I live 200 miles away.
Yeah, well, that helps a lot when they need a doctor's visit or something needs fixing around the house.
I don't know what you're getting at, Tom. I don't live in this town anymore.
Of course you don't get it. You never get it. This picture of Dad. Seems like yesterday he was dancing at my wedding.
I remember that. You remember about Dad? Watching TV with him. Come down 10 seconds later, he'd be out like a light snoring. And then when the show was over, he'd wake up and go, "That was good."
Yeah, like he'd actually watched it. I'm going to miss him.
Me too. I just always thought he'd be there. I mean, he was like a machine. I mean, he'd be up at 5 in the morning walking the dog, doing things inside the house, outside the house. I mean, even when he was working full time, he was home every single night for dinner. Guess he never wanted to miss a meal.
Guess not. Remember how loudly he ate? The entire neighborhood knew about it. Everybody in the block knew we were having soup for supper.
Remember how we used to make fun of him? What I wouldn't give now just to hear those slurping sounds one more time.
Hey, remember, party time?
My God, party time, of course.
Get that big tent out of the attic, the big red one, and he'd set it up in the basement.
The red tent, like we were camping.
He'd even take ropes and tie it down like some big breeze is going to go through the basement and blow us all away.
Oh my God. Oh, get us all the candy we ever wanted.
Watch silly movies till midnight.
Flashlight tag?
Oh yeah, red and the blue flashlights.
Ah, the blue one. That was your favorite. We always fought about that one.
Yeah, we did.
Party time. That was tradition.
I think he got as much out of it as we did.
I think you're right. Hey, do you remember when you spilled the blue juice all over their new carpet? They still got that Red Sox rug covering it up in the basement.
Yeah.
You know, they never even got mad at you about that. You had it the easiest.
No way. You had it the easiest.
Oh, come on.
NYU grad, Harvard MBA, big shot in New York, the golden boy.
Oh, what about you, Mr. I drive my friends on my junior license playing mailbox baseball. You know, Dad never even got upset about that. He thought it was some rite of passage or some teenage prank. Yet I get one drink when I'm underage, all hell breaks loose.
He was worried something was going to happen to you.
Oh, come on, he was worried about you just as much as he was worried about me.
No, 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 no. He always favored you. Mom even said so.
Oh, come on, would you stop it, Tom, please?
This DVD. He's going to not watch that next week at Easter.
Remember that movie? Wonder what else he was going to do. Life interrupted.
Remember how excited he used to get when we were all around for the holidays?
Oh my God, I think his favorite was Halloween. He'd have us help him decorate the entire house. Orange lights everywhere, spooky, scary things inside and outside the house. Yeah. Oh, and then on November 1st, he'd take us down to the stores to get the 80% off sale of stuff that nobody wanted. Oh, Billy Bob Jack.
Oh, jeez. You know, that thing is still up in the attic.
Really?
How a homemade talking monster could possibly, made out of an old tape recorder and some ragged clothes, could possibly outlive Dad? I don't get that. You know, he kept records of everything. There's still a box up in the attic labeled First Billy Bob Jack Visit. It's still got the date on it. Up until last year, he used to get that thing out of the attic, walk it around the front yard, set it up under the maple tree in that old spot, and scare the bejesus out of any kids that came by trick-or-treating. I don't know where he got his energy.
Maybe that's why he was asleep 10 seconds after he hit the couch.
You know, Chris, his birthday's going to be next month. He would have been 85. I don't know how I'm going to handle that one.
You know what I'm going to do? Gonna go down to my local steakhouse, order the biggest steak on the menu, and a Guinness to wash it down.
That Mom would say he didn't need.
And then for dessert, I'm gonna order Dad's famous brownie bowl ice cream, maraschino cherries, whipped cream, extra hot fudge. Then I'm gonna raise a spoon to the best dad ever.
Things aren't going to be the same.
No, they're not.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to bed. We got a long day tomorrow.
I know.
You know, it's surreal. It's like a bad dream. I can't believe Dad. Accident happened 2 blocks from the house.
I know. Mom said that the guy that hit Dad's car was texting and driving at the same time.
That's unbelievable. You know, Mom also said that Dad was driving to the UPS store to deliver something to you. What was so urgent and important that you needed?
It was my lucky poker chip set. I was having a poker event the next night and I needed it.
A poker chip set? That's what Dad died for? Was your stupid poker chip set? You couldn't just go out and buy another poker chip set. I thought it was like some important document you needed for work or something. Oh no. Darling Chris needed his his lucky poker chip set. You gotta be kidding me!
Hey, you know, I didn't ask him to do it. He volunteered. Mom was the one that said that I needed it anyway.
Don't even go there. You don't get it, do you? Dad lived, now he dies for you. You thought it was your birthright to have him bend over backwards for you. You never appreciated him. You don't even appreciate your own kids.
What? You're crazy. I love my kids. And I appreciated everything Dad ever did for us. Not just me, us. And you know, and just because I don't live in this town anymore doesn't mean I'm not part of this family or they don't care about him. You know, I loved him, damn it.
Dad is to be alive if it wasn't for you.
Don't you think I know what he was doing when he was killed? Don't you think I'm going to have to live with that the rest of my life?
Hello, Ma. Yeah, he's here. We're just talking over some stuff. Need to go back to bed, Ma. We get a long day with the funeral tomorrow. I'll be by to pick you up in the morning. I know, Ma. I know. I love you too. I'll be by to pick you up in the morning. You go back to bed. Good night, Ma.
You thought I was the golden boy, the one who could do no wrong. You know what? Mom and Dad, they trusted you to do the things. You know what? It had nothing to do with me being 200 miles away. It had everything to do with the fact that you could do it better. Do you know how that made me feel?
I never saw it that way.
Of course not.
I'm going to bed. You know, you ought to go to bed too.
I will. Just looking something up.
Look, Chris, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What are you looking up?
Tents. Thinking about getting one for the boys. Maybe have party time when we get back to New York.
You know, that old red tent of Dad's is still up in the attic. You can get that down tomorrow.
Really? What do you say we do that? Me, you, all the kids? Have one big party time before I go back?
I think that's a good plan.
I'll get the movies.
I'll pick up some candy and a couple of flashlights.
Only if I get the blue one.
So Dad's party time tradition continues.
I think you would have liked that.
I think he would have.
welcome back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the scene Party Time that Tim Loff, thank you for coming
Absolutely.
down to film here in the studio and also interview. So Tim, how did you get involved in ACT?
Started out taking a couple of classes from Kelly in acting for non-actors, because I haven't acted in, I think, 45 years since I was in high
Since you
school.
were born, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. High school. And so it just sounded like something fun to do. So I took a couple of courses, and that's where you and I met.
Yep.
And then I took a sabbatical for a couple of years, and I went back and took another one. And she said that you were doing this. And so I thought it might be a kick. So I called you up, and you said no, but you needed somebody.
Well,
so
that's what I do. I don't rope anybody into anything that we do here. Yeah. No, and you were kind enough to come to our first couple of shows.
Yeah,
And to see what
that's
we
right.
did and what Kelly directed and we wrote. And it was a safe environment, hopefully. I'm very interested in hearing your opinions on how a new person gets welcomed into the group, because we're struggling a little bit with that. We're trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I came in late to the party because I couldn't come to the casting
The open
party
call.
or open
The
call, right?
yep.
Couldn't come to that. But what I did do was I came to the first rehearsal I think we had, which was in your basement, as I recall. You know, everybody was very nice, but people were already sort of doing it. You know, they already started getting into their roles and learning their scripts and stuff like that. So, you know, one of the things that I suggest would be maybe a pre-cast party, so that everybody could kind of get to know each other before the thing. Now, obviously, your casting open call may have done some of that, but you know, I didn't go to that. So I think if maybe there's an opportunity for people to just sort of get to know each other on a more informal basis. You know, what I found was that through the course of the process, by the end of it, I had made some really good friends, and that was great, you know. And a lot of it has to do with when you're doing the rehearsals, or when you're waiting for the actual performance to happen, you know, actually, you know, sitting backstage and talking to people and whatever. So it was very much of a community building thing, and I really got a lot of friends and a lot of fun out of it. And it could just be helped by that. So that's about the only thing I would say.
Tech Week either bonds people together or tears them apart. But there's a lot to be said for that. So I think that advice is very sound, and I think we're going to do something like that for a fall show. We did have an open call, but I don't think that it was to the point of like getting people together a little bit more, I think. But you know, part of that open call is to find out how many people we have, and it's sort of like an open tryout and trying to figure it out.
So yeah, once you had the people and you kind of knew where they're going to go, maybe that'd be the point.
That'd be the good time.
Yeah.
So that's great. So how did you like doing the scene on stage versus filming it here in the studio? What did you think the major differences were for you?
Well, certainly doing it on stage was a little more nerve-wracking, because you've got a live audience and you're not sure what they're going to do. So that was a little bit weird. The interaction between you and I is a little more closer and a little bit more informal in some ways, because we don't have to worry about blocking as much. I mean, we're sort of able to just have a discussion because obviously the camera's coming in closer. So that's a little easier in some ways. And so I found, I think I enjoyed both of them in different ways.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be on stage to get the immediate reaction.
Yep.
Even what we were doing wasn't a comedy, it was definitely an impact to the audience. But here it's also good to get more of the interpersonal closeness of it. So this one scene I think really bodes well for filming and also being on stage. It's different elements.
Well, and doing it, you know, and having the other people around is obviously fun.
Yeah.
You know, when you're doing the, you know, in between the scenes and you're watching everybody else do their thing.
Yeah.
And then doing it 3 times in a row, obviously, you sort of get better. At least I did. I felt like we got better as we went through the 3 performances. And then the other thing is having people come and see me and going afterwards and you know, hear them tell me what a terrible job or what a good job I done. You know, so
you were fantastic. You carried me through that scene.
Hardly. Anyway.
So I want to say to the audience, there's an interesting fact that I'm putting out there that we play brothers in this scene that you just witnessed. And as we were rehearsing the scenes on a Monday night, usually every Monday night I drop my daughter off to fencing and I scoot over to to Wellesley, and we rehearsed for a couple hours of the scene. And then during the rehearsals, we started to talk a little bit about, interactions and what do you think about the characters, and we both realized and talked to each other, neither one of us have any siblings.
Right.
So, I was just curious on that. What was that more difficult to do the scene without having a brother scenario that you could relate to, or was it easier to do that? I was just curious from your perspective.
I think I would say that my profession is an elder law attorney, so I see a lot of family relationships.
Yep.
Mom's ill, dad's died, something's going on, so I have viewed and been involved in a lot of those transactions. So I think, to a certain degree, I was able to sort of model some of the emotions and some of the interactions that I saw based on that.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, at least I had something to go by.
Yeah.
I think if I hadn't had that, it probably would have been more difficult, but it went great, and the fact that you didn't have a sibling, I think was really interesting, because the two of us sort of became brothers.
Very interesting. It was. It did feel that way. It was great.
Yeah. The good news was we ended up on a good note, so I still like you.
I still like you. I think it carried away, but I think it will too.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What was the scariest part of the performance for you? I know for me, I'll answer that one first before I go to you. I was fearful that the part in which we have that very dramatic moment in which, don't you know how he was killed? I have to live with that the rest of my life. And then the sound effect, the phone was supposed to ring. If it doesn't ring, we're just sitting hanging out there for whatever. To me, that was the part that because I had no control over it. I trusted you as an actor, and as a partner working together, I trusted that we would get through anything that we did on stage.
Right.
But it was out of my control. I had no control over who was going to do that. But my
Right.
daughter did a great job of that. Good job, guys.
Yeah, she did.
What was
Good
yours?
job. That was one, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
I would say just the other thing was just being worried that I was going to somehow forget a line and blow it completely. It didn't happen, and every time we did it again, it seemed to be less and less of an issue. But that was, just making a fool of myself up there was really probably more than anything else, a concern. The other thing, I guess, was we were taught by Kelly to have dramatic pauses.
Yep.
And I kept wondering whether my dramatic pause was long enough, or too short, or too long, or and that was, it wasn't scary, but it was kind of like, tension.
And then sometimes I'm thinking the dramatic pause. Does Tim think I don't know my next line, and he's going to jump down and jump? And so, I'm going to miss him.
So there's so many times in there. Do I come in and rescue you at this point in time?
Right.
But
And we did that during rehearsals.
We did
At time, we jumped each other's lines, So.
Well, my part about rehearsal that motivates me is when you're an actor and you're on stage, you have to focus your full attention on the scene and not worry about anything else that's going on in your life, on the stage, if someone drops a cookie or someone does something else. The moment your mind drifts to something else, you are no longer in your character and you're different.
That's right.
And on Thursday night dress rehearsal, we were doing the scene and we were in the middle of it, and I realized that I skipped a section of the scene. And I got too cocky. And I realized it, because when I realized it was
later on in the scene, we were saying something that referred to something that we didn't say. So there was nothing to refer to.
Right.
And then I looked at you and goes, I missed something. And you went, oh yeah, you did. Oh yes, you did.
Well, I couldn't figure out any way to save it.
Well,
You're in the middle of
yeah,
it, and it's
yeah.
like it went from this point,
yeah.
and I could continue from that point,
could.
but it was hard to go
No.
backwards,
No,
and
you can't.
I
No.
just couldn't figure out how to
No,
save
it's
that
not
one.
going
So
I was determined from that point on that there was no way the next 3 shows. It was Thursday night dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
But it was only you and I that knew that.
Right.
Even the directors and the lighting people were sitting out there going,
that was great.
Hey, look, I don't think he looks good in the red tie.
you got Kelly coming up here. Well,
Yeah,
what do you think?
yeah,
Red? Blue? What do you think? Does this table show? That's the kind of stuff we're going through on stage.
That's true.
And we're sitting there, and I'm
That's
sitting here,
true.
we just blew the lines. And I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
And you were great. You were great. You was like, oh, don't worry about it. But I was so determined that I was not going to mess up.
Yeah.
And the other part was during the scene in the Saturday matinee, we were having these beers that have been sitting here for like 3 weeks, right? It's empty, little residual stuff in the bottom. I didn't clean it too well. And I'm sipping here and I'm doing this. And on the Saturday show, I go like this. And that thing that's been sitting in the bottom of that thing for 3 weeks enters my mouth. I have to swallow because there's no spitting on stage. And I did not miss my line. And you were very...
Well, you slowed down
I
a
slowed
little.
down.
And for a second, I thought you had missed your line because I was thinking, oh, he forgot his line. But no, you were just like...
No, that was trying to figure out, do I not vomit on
Right.
stage? Or how do I do this?
Right,
So
right,
to me,
right.
that was one of the most
Yeah.
that was one of the most highlights of trying to get through a scene.
Right, right.
But the moment you lose focus,
Yeah.
and we did a retake here, and you just said to yourself, you started to think about how hard you kicked that can.
Right, exactly.
And then you lost it.
Yeah, lose it. Yeah,
It's
absolutely
amazing
lose
how
it.
quickly it can go.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. So closing comments from you. Is this something you do again?
Yeah, for sure. It was really fun. It depends on what you're looking for, what you're going to get out of it, but I think whatever you're looking for, you're probably going to get out of it because it's, if you're just looking for some new people to meet, you're going to do that.
Yep.
If you're looking for a new experience that's something you haven't tried before, you're going to get that. If you're looking to go back and relive your glory days in high school, you're going to be able to do that. So from all perspectives, I think it was really fun and a good thing to do. It takes some time. I mean, I think you got to be prepared for that. The tech week and the actual rehearsals, and you got to be ready to spend some time. But the actual learning your lines and doing that stuff, it's really fun. It's not scary like I thought it would be. It's really not that scary.
The end product served. It really produced a good show, I thought. Our scene in general, but I think the overall show.
Yeah.
Kelly does a great job of getting everybody together and collaborating. And what I try to do is organize everybody to know where they should be, when they should be there.
Right.
So I think we try to welcome people, make them feel comfortable. We're definitely a very collaborative group.
Yeah.
We take everyone's ideas and make it, we don't always go with everything, but at least we listen to it and see what works. So it's not like, Tim, you come in, you sit and you do this.
No,
it's not a rigid kind of experience because it's theater, it's community, and we want people to feel comfortable.
Well, and not only that, but you get an opportunity to do a lot of different things. If you weren't comfortable being on stage, there's a million things that can be done. Stage manager, helping put the set around, pulling sets together, doing all that kind. There's a lot of other things that can be done,
lighting,
to help
sound, music,
do the community, make the community theater a better experience for everybody.
So we want people to come and join us. So go to
Yeah.
our website, ashlandcommunitytheater.com, or email me and Kelly at ashlandcommunitytheater@gmail, and just tell us what you're interested in. Ask us what we do, and come down to see some of our scenes and our workshops. That's how Tim and I met. We did a couple of workshops with Kelly. We did a couple of shows, and then you were interested in coming on stage. So
Right.
not everybody has to be on stage, but if you want to, there's opportunity.
And I thought you were crazy originally, and I still think you're crazy, but you're crazy in a good way, so it's okay.
I remember when we met the first night we did our show, our acting class together. I said, I want to put together a community theater. And he's like, this guy's actually a little crazy.
But let me tell you something, Joe. I mean, one of the things that's really enjoyable about doing this is watching somebody with a passion for something, which you have,
Thank you.
and being able to join them in that passion. I mean, I think it's a wonderful thing for the community. Watching you enjoy yourself doing it is cool, and bringing all the people together, it's really fun. So
Thank you so much, Tim.
Kudos
I
to
really
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming down and filming
Absolutely.
Party Time here in the studio. Join us next time when we're going to have the cast of All Flowers Bloom at different times. And join us. Kelly, get better. Talk
Kelly,
soon.
get better.
Bye now.
This camera is right here. And are you having this one on at all?
Hey! Hiya. Here, this is Joe White here. Welcome to Behind the Curtain. There is no Kelly Fay. She is a myth. If she was here, she'd be, hi, I'm Kelly Fay.
Other than that.
I didn't want to go through the window.
No, I didn't. We didn't want to go through the window either.
Stuff! And now we got Mean Gene, the dancing machine.
I loved him, damn it.
Dad lived. Dad. There we go.
What do you think, Miles?